What's good, everybody? It's your boy JTL, opposite from the norm. You know what? I was just watching this Vlad, Lord Jamar interview, and they was talking about dr.sebi. It had like two parts on it. And a lot of other interviews I see that Vlad do with artists and, you know what I'm saying, people, especially of culture, of our culture, hip hop or black culture. And it I had to keep remembering the fact that, no offense, but Vlad a white boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though he's Russian. His family is from Russia and everything. And I believe he was in Russia, came here at a young age to America. But it's a difference in black culture and white culture or any other culture. You know what I'm saying? Like, they came to this country, they subscribe to this culture, Western, you know what I'm saying, civilization. You know what I'm saying? So when I say he a white boy, what I mean is he tries to take advantage of the USA dream and the privilege of, if you work hard, you know, and certain things you do, certain ways you live. That's cool. That's fine. That's his business. But the problem I have with it is when you talk to our people and you look at them like they crazy for believing in something with dr.sebi. He's like, oh, well, there's nothing being proven. Have you really done your research to see if it's really been proven or not? Then you talk about the court cases and how many people that he brought to that court case, that Supreme Court case. They wanted five. He brought like 50, 60, 70 people. And this is the thing you gotta realize. He's saying, oh, well, it still wasn't proven. That was on the court without a shadow of doubt to prove whether these cases were real or not. So why, when he went to court, they didn't prove it? Why did they have examiners, medical examiners, examine these people to see whether or not they were cured, get their previous records, and then go over it again to see if they have been cured? You know what I'm saying? Because as long as they're willing, you know, when they're willing, then you can do stuff like this in the court of law. Like, people have to be willing. And if they showed up, that means they look like they was willing. So when I see Vlad looking at people crazy for, like, when he talked to OGs and former gang members or gang members and be like, well, I mean, you might go kill somebody, but I'm gonna call the police. Okay, so what? If these people live their life like that on some gang shit or hood shit, that's how they live their life. That's what they subscribe to. Because you gotta remember, and this ain't no excuse. This is the aftermath. This is the effects from slavery, poverty, lack of education, lack of health, lack of knowledge, lack of being able to feed yourself, lack of shelter, lack of, you know what I'm saying? All this shit dealing with racism. This is the aftermath of it. And I get when white people be like, I don't get it. But at the same time, if you didn't live through it, of course you wouldn't get it. But check this out, though. Go to those hoods or slums in Boston. Go to them slums in Brooklyn. Go to the slums in Connecticut. Go to the slums in Buffalo. The slums where white people live at, and see how they are. If you ever seen that movie, The Town, and it got Ben Affleck in it, they didn't fuck with the police. If you ever seen that movie, Black Mask, with Johnny Depp, that's in Boston, they didn't fuck with the police. It's a lot of communities like that. The Italian community was like that. You know what I'm saying? The Asian community is like that. We don't fuck with police. We handle our own shit. So if you don't come from that community, you're not gonna understand that. So it's so many people that can relate to us. But you gotta remember something. We was the only culture that was brought over here as slaves. Everybody else migrated over here. Black people were the only people stolen from their land and brought to this land for cheap and free labor, most likely, beaten, killed, robbed of their identity, culture, language, spiritual beliefs. So you got to think, if we just remove, basically, from, let's say, segregation in like the 60s. So you got 50 years removal of us trying to still get into this culture. So that's over 400 years of what black people went through in this country. So of course you're not gonna understand if you never been through it. And no offense, but what Vlad gotta realize, when you don't subscribe to it or fully get it and you're not from the culture, that what makes your culture vulture if you making money off of it, even though you don't necessarily agree with it. But you still make money off of it. And I'm not saying Vlad don't have friends in the culture, black or hip hop. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying if you're a different color, you can't be part of hip hop culture. When it comes to black culture, if you don't realize the certain things that we have been through as a people, you will never really be able to show empathy or sympathy and get an understanding of why we do what we do. So no offense, but when he comes on his show and just like, I wouldn't go to Dr. Sebi. Matter of fact, I think Dr. Sebi is a cult because he had 17 kids. Are you fucking kidding me? You know, people in this. I mean, I got an uncle that got 24. He got a cult? Fuck no. He just like ass. You know what I'm saying? The people that I know are family members, they just like ass. I mean, you got a fucking cult. And he's saying with the herbalistic and all of this stuff, bro, when you see the things that he did with nature, you don't have to keep dealing with his stuff. A cult is something that tries to keep you entrenched into that mindset to get money from you, maybe get you to take your life believing on some bullshit. But say you use some of his products and go on about your business, excuse me. He ain't finna make you stay. He wasn't finna make you stay there. God rest his soul. He, you know what I'm saying, he's going in peace. Rest in peace. But at the same time, if that's the case, let's look at some things. When the man died, we didn't find out till later he was in jail. He died in jail. Most likely a non-nourishment and not trusting what they was giving him in this nasty, disgusting ass jail. Then come to find out they stole his company and product. His wife and son are online in different interviews like Hot 97 and I'm trying to think what was the other one. I know it's Hot 97. They got an interview with the wife of Dr. Sebi and his son talking about how they stole the product. So it's not the product, and they saying don't even use the product. So they got to figure out a way to backtrack and try to get things on point about what happened. So why would they steal his product from his family? How is that possible? There's so many things you got to look into. So if Vlad wants to be the white boy, go ahead, but you have to deal with being called a culture vulture because that's something a culture vulture would do. You can't say, oh, y'all should just do this if you ain't dealing with it. I've dealt with helping in my own community for the last 15 years. So every time I'm dealing with somebody, like I deal with a parent, I'll be like, okay, we can help you do this. And they're like, no, I'd rather do this. Be like, okay, what if we do this? No, I'd rather do this. All right, what if we do this? Then come to find out when you're dealing with the parents, they were raised that way. So it's carried on tradition to tradition. And it's sad because it's like a cliche now, but so many of us in our culture, with all the bullshit we've been through, this is the aftermath. So if you really want to try to help change it, you have to dig a little deeper than rap music, bro. So, like I said, I still watch, Vlad interviews. He be having some dope interviews, but I'm just keeping it real that this is what we gotta realize. This is why he acts like this, and this is why he says a lot of shit that we don't agree with. Why he don't agree with a lot of shit on us. He just doesn't really know how to dig deep into the culture of what it is. So when I say white boy, I don't mean like I'm calling man cracker like that. I'm just saying white boy as oblivious to not being a person of color and going through what we're going through. You know what I'm saying? But he still had dope interviews. I ain't saying not to watch him that. I'm just giving my thoughts on why he does what he does. And he's just not from the culture. He's not from the culture. I don't care how long you've been loving hip hop. You're not from black culture. But, give me your thoughts. Go ahead and like, share, subscribe. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you subscribe. This your boy JT, and I definitely want to hear y'all opinions and y'all thoughts. So I'll let your boy tell me what you think. Cheer.